Centuries ago, mapmakers faced a problem, reaching the edge of the known world. They filled empty oceans with sea monsters and warnings of dragons. For centuries, the highest levels of professional expertise functioned exactly like those blank spaces. We measured the results of brilliant lawyers and strategists, but the internal process of their thinking remained entirely unmapped. This is the black box method. An expert produces a sophisticated solution, but cannot disclose the architecture behind it. The result is genuinely impressive, yet the explanation is uncertain, and the method cannot be taught. Professional culture often rewarded this opacity. We treated the expert's inability to articulate their process as evidence of a rare, mystical judgment. At one prestigious London firm, this culture was personified by a lawyer they called the Princess. She was revered for a magic that allowed her to instantly identify hidden pressure points in complex disputes. Her career rested on the old equation of professional success: unexplainable talent amplified by massive institutional weight. The firm profited from her gift, surrounding it with endless documents and billing in 6-minute units. Clients mistook this institutional process for divine providence. Her sudden dismissal changed everything. Once stripped of the firm's institutional amplification, her reputation vanished. Her former colleagues dismissed her track record as a series of lucky guesses rather than a stable cognitive process. Without the firm to validate her, she had to prove her genius was actually a reproducible method. In her exile, she began using artificial intelligence. The machine acted as a cold intellectual mirror. The interaction was defined by friction. The AI was indifferent to her former prestige. It constantly demanded explicit instructions, effectively forcing her to show exactly how she arrived at a conclusion. This process revealed a technological limit. AI can only operate within and amplify a defined structure. It has no mechanism to amplify unarticulated intuition or aura. As this source notes, form is the reproducible architecture through which intelligence generates results. By forcing her to provide that architecture, the machine revealed that her magic was actually unarticulated speed, a sequence of operations happening faster than speech. She spent months reverse engineering her own mind, transforming that implicit speed into a formal, explicit architecture. She began naming the territories she previously flew over in the dark. The first layer was orientation, determining what kind of world a problem inhabited before trying to solve it. Next came translation, the process of converting human disorder into legal form without losing the reality of the harm. The third layer was visibility. This required identifying exactly where institutional power becomes a reviewable act and who controls the communications that make it visible to the law. Finally, she mapped the rift and the burden, locating colliding logical frames and identifying who carries the strategic cost of uncertainty. Naming these operations translated her personal genius into a portable form. She had created a map that a machine could execute. The firm's earlier claim that she was merely lucky eventually led to a defamation lawsuit. The case became a test of whether talent can exist without a traditional institution. The managing partner defended the old system. He acted as the last priest of a profession where talent was synonymous with the building that housed it. She answered the accusation of luck by presenting her method. She demonstrated that her cognitive architecture was completely reproducible across different cases, jurisdictions, and clients. The trial established a new equation for the AI era: reproducible method equals portable institutional power. Professional prestige is shifting. As this text observes, the market is moving from competition between stars to competition between methods. The value now lies in the demonstrable quality of the cognitive forms through which a firm produces results. The managing partner realized that his temple of mystical expertise was obsolete. A teachable, transparent architecture had replaced the need for his institutional mystery. Humanity has acquired the ability to map its own cognitive machinery. We can now decompose complex intellectual work into methods, protocols, and decision architectures. The dragons at the edges of our old maps were never monsters. They were simply the limits of our instruments. True power is no longer hidden inside the individual. It is printed in a loose stack of diagrams on a desk, ready to be taught.